XRP is the new Bitcoin. How do I know? The same guy created both.
Bitcoin is Satoshi Nakamoto, aka XRP. So you might be the main guy.
It's not impossible. It's not true.
Is this man Satoshi? David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple Labs. A lot of people believe unequivocally this man, known as Joel Katz on Twitter, is in fact the architect of not only the XRPL, but also Bitcoin itself. Dive into this crazy theory as we hunt for Satoshi. Let's get it. I'm not a financial advisor. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. Smash that like button already if you believe that David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple Labs, is actually Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. We have tons of evidence to go over here. And let's start first by just going over a few of his credentials you may not have known about. You will see when you scroll down his LinkedIn, he has quite a bit of experience as a self-starter, an employee, and an executive. But he also has experience being a contractor. And conveniently left off of his LinkedIn, but widely known, is that David actually did contract work for the National Security Agency, or NSA. The very same NSA that back in 1996 put out a white paper on how to create your own mint. We covered this entire story last week, so catch up by clicking the link above if you missed it. Also, if you forgot to subscribe, or you used to be a viewer and you've returned, make sure to hit that subscribe button and bell for notifications. David was not working with the NSA when their white paper came out, but my research shows that he was working for the NSA when Bitcoin was created.
I spent some time consulting for the NSA in 2000.
And what happens in 2007, 2008, we have a housing bubble, right? And in 2009, you're still there, Bitcoin is born.
Here's where things get very suspicious. So Bitcoin white paper, 2008. NSA white paper, 1996. The government working on crypto at least 12 years earlier. Then when Schwartzy is at the NSA, it comes out. But wait a second, I got a few more ingredients for our big enchilada. David owns a patent, I kid you not, that basically is one of the first works ever that shows how to create a distributed ledger system. US 5025369A describes a decentralized network, a multi-level distributed computer system for distributed processing, preferably includes a plurality of personal computers. A task inputted to the system is divided into a plurality of portions. Absolutely nuts, but when was this created? Holy crap, 1988. I was 6. I had not even played the brand new hottest game at the time, the Oregon Trail. Sadly, I would later play the game and die of dysentery. 20 years before Bitcoin was created, David Schwartz was already the architect of a decentralized network. On its own, this is very suspicious. Now scroll all the way to the bottom of the page where it lists the legal events. The patent lapsed in 1995 and was discontinued in 2018. We know David works in crypto still to this day. We also know the NSA white paper was written in 1996. So David let the patent for basically Bitcoin before Bitcoin lapse due to a cheap fee. And reminder, this invention is in the field he still works in. And when it lapsed in 1995, it was definitely still early. It's like that Uber driver who told me he bought Bitcoin back in 2001. Now, I'm not the only person, though, that thought that was suspicious. Check this out. Patent documents revealed David Schwartz may have come up with XRP ledger concept in 1998. The network's history is often traced to 2011, when David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito are said to have come together to develop the network. However, a patent document shared by an XRP influencer known as XRP King Doggo IV indicates that Schwartz may have developed the rough concept for the network as far back as 1988. David Schwartz created the XRPL way back in 1988 when they didn't even have a name for the blockchain. Another notable person in blockchain, John McAfee, he claimed that David Schwartz is Satoshi before he passed in 2021. A mysterious tweet was posted and then quickly deleted by McAfee. It simply said, Satoshi is and always has been the only person it ever could be. At Joel Katz, time is now. Very interesting here. Why was it deleted? McAfee always claimed to have tons of files and documents on things such as this. Did he? Guess there's no way to ask now. Maybe that was the point, taking him out. Another person who suggested that David Schwartz could in fact be Satoshi is David Schwartz, huh? On October 24th, 2022, an article was published stating Ripple CTO David Schwartz says he could have been part of Satoshi. One of the keys here is that the title says could have been part of Satoshi. Part of Satoshi? Before we get more into what David said, let's dive a little into the idea that Satoshi is a group. There are a few different group theories, the most popular being the cypherpunks led by Hal Finney. The other popular theory is that the government itself created it. But a new theory is emerging that I've given you. If you missed my theory, I'll go over it again at the end. But here's a clip of Consensus CEO Joe Lubin possibly accidentally letting a secret out.
Bitcoin, the inventor of Bitcoin created two things. One was the application.
Satoshi.
Yeah, the group.
You see, people have thought for a long time that there was a group. But four people specifically? It sounds very interesting. But a lot of these are just theories, and if you stick around to the very end, I'm going to tell you why everyone is wrong about Satoshi. Back to the article here, though. David Schwartz, the Chief Technology Officer, CTO, of Ripple, claims that he might have been a member of Satoshi, the team or person that invented Bitcoin, but that he only became aware of the network in 2011. One of the significant crypto industry mysteries is the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto, the developer of the pseudonymous cryptocurrency Bitcoin, who vanished precisely 12 years ago in December 2010. Before we finish up, take a look at this entire video of someone confronting David Schwartz about potentially being Satoshi.
I'll tell you the story, and then I want to see your reaction and your expression and your body language. Okay, check this out. 1988, you put the blockchain technology back in 2000 or something like that. You go to work for DARPA, am I correct?
No, I mean, I did. I spent some time consulting for the NSA in 2000.
Okay.
2000.
And what happens in 2007, 2008, you have a housing bubble, right? And in 2009, you're still there. Bitcoin is born. Bitcoin doesn't work. It's too slow. It's too cumbersome. And then the only guy that can fix Bitcoin is Satoshi Nakamoto, aka XRP. No?
Well, so there's one problem with that, which is if you look at the original Bitcoin source code,
Right.
It has a user interface implemented in Qt. I don't know Qt. So you have to add at least one other person.
You have resources.
Yeah, you have to add at least one other person to make it plausible.
Okay, but you might be the main guy.
It's not impossible. It's not true.
I got it on video.
I have the skill set to do it.
Awesome.
But I didn't discover Bitcoin until 2011. I wish I had. Believe me, I'd be what? How much is Satoshi's Bitcoin worth?
63. What is it? How much is it?
How many million Bitcoin do people think he has?
21 million?
Somewhere between 1 and 2 million, right? Depending on how much of the early money you think was him.
Right.
So that's what? $50 billion?
Yeah.
Well, at the peak, it was. Right now it's. So this is the crazy thing. Think about this. Imagine if you're someone in government, you're someone in national security, you're someone in law enforcement. You have a person who is a billionaire, like a multi-billionaire. Like, and you know what you can do with money. Like, look at the influence on politics that Elon Musk has.
100%.
You have somebody who has that level of money and power and influence, and you don't know who they are.
Right.
What their politics are, who they're aligned with, if anyone. That's crazy.
It's like buying freedom without knowing.
But imagine that. Imagine if you had an actor with that. And the weird thing is, though, his bitcoins have not moved.
Right. Well, we don't have to.
You guys can just line up.
I like that.
Let's get a grid.
So interesting that David comes to the conclusion that yes, he possibly could have played a role based on the man's assertions. But let's wrap this up by me telling you what I believe and what I've been told about David Schwartz. Schwartz, like anyone else potentially involved in the creation of Bitcoin, has zero idea that they were actually included. While many people have thrown out all of these crazy theories, here's the truth directly from Mr. X himself about David Schwartz and all of the possible Satoshis. Sounded to me like the narrative was being given to him. So he said, yes, yeah, okay, sure. I'll tell you again, no one will ever be able to legitimately claim to be responsible for the end result. And those who were, and the many to contribute pieces, either have no clue what they were involved in or will never say a word about what they did contribute. That is a guarantee, and why everyone is still simply theorizing all these years later. The fact is, nobody knows except the actual entity behind Bitcoin. And if you've got a brain, you have some awareness, and been watching my videos, you already know who that entity is, that it's at least taken it over. Both children were behind Bitcoin. If you don't know who both children are, you need to watch my last few live streams. They use their information networks and tentacles to get a digital currency created to trap us. More on that soon. Do you believe David Schwartz is Satoshi? Drop your comments down below. Hit the like button. If you're in the XRP army, David Schwartz is your Satoshi, no matter what the evidence says. Good boy out.